08, because basically we know that he's using IE7, okay? And this is a very good vulnerability to exploit IE7, okay? There are some options to set, so let me set all the boring stuff. SRV host, it's me, 10, 16, 1631. Oh, apologies. 1631. Set SRV port 80. Why do I use port 80? Because it's always open on a firewall. This connection will go out, okay? Set URI path root. So basically, what I'm using is telling to this guy, you have to power on a web server here on port 80, and you have to wait, you have to serve the exploit on root, okay? And I have to tell them, once you exploit the vulnerability, you have to serve, as a payload, a Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP. So you have to connect back to me, okay, and give me access to the system. So we have to set some parameter again, like lhost, which is myself, 10, 16, 16, 31, and an open port. What is the other open port you have on your firewalls? HTTPS, 443, right? 443. So, exploit. Done, okay? Now we are listening. We are waiting for a connection coming from the user, but this time we will not be so good that we'll just display, boom, something. We will just exploit the vulnerability. So let's go back, send another email to this user, which will eventually click on it, okay? Mouses are actually bad stuff on a laptop, you know? You have to remove them because users are clicking on everything. So the email will go out, and what would happen is that once the user receives the email and click on the link because he wants to see the pictures, he will be redirected to our Metasploit instance. We will push down a vulnerability and we will be on his system. Keep in mind that doing something like that, okay, we have bypassed all the security that you have on the perimeter, okay? Now, in real life, it's not so easy, okay, like I'm showing you, okay? I have to do some tweaks to bypass the IPSs. I have to do some tweaks to bypass some more advanced security that you have, but bear in mind that nothing is really impossible, okay? It's quite easy to bypass this stuff. It's a matter of time. Now, let's wait. As I told you, we need just a couple of minutes, but once the user will click, you will see a connection coming in. Actually, you will not see because it will be displayed just behind the chairs. But I will basically scroll up as soon as we exploit the vulnerability, just to show you what we are able to achieve. Once we are on that system, the idea is, are we happy just to sit on the user laptop, or do we want to do something more? Because yes, the laptop is quite interesting, but the juicy data is somewhere else. It's probably on a file server, or it's probably on the Active Directory or somewhere else. So what I want to do now is to jump on the host. Here it is, connection is coming. It says, checking out the target. The target uses Windows XP, Internet Explorer 7 with blah, blah, blah. Sending down the payload. The payload takes a while. Connection opened. Migrating process, opening Notepad. Waiting for the migration to finish, and then we will be done, okay? Migration done. So this is what happened. We received the connection. The exploit was checking which kind of system we had on the other side. We found out the Windows XP. We were pushing down the payload, exploited, connecting back, and we are done. This means that I have an active connection to the system now. What can I do? Let's do the basic, right? Sessions interact 1, sysinfo. So this is a Windows XP, and it's called admin blah blah blah, and it's a Windows 32 technology. What's the first thing you would do? Now we are on the system. What is the first thing that an attacker does? Passwords. Let's get the password. Hash dump. Here we go. Are these in clear text? No. Okay. How complex is cracking them? How much time do I take to crack them? What? I can do pass the hash, yeah, but you know, it's an easy way to win. But I want to log on the system using RDP, so I need the password. I can't do pass the hash. I can do pass the hash for the other stuff. I want to crack this password. Let me show you how easy it is, okay? I copy the password. Copy. I go on another website. Off crack, demo. Control V. Are you ready for the magic? 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. 4 seconds. And the password was quite complicated, by the way. Okay? Is 3ED CVB and MJU7. So it was not quite an easy password. Maybe I was lucky, right? You know, I'm Italian, I'm always lucky. So let's crack the other one. Copy. Let's go here. Control V. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 seconds for each password. And I need 4 seconds because the connection I'm using is low. Okay? It can take even less. Now let's crack the user password, which is what I need, Showerton. Copy. Let's go here. Paste the password. 1, 2, 3, 4, password. Okay? We have the password now. So, Tigger 2 exclamation mark. Okay? Nice. So we have the password, right? Now, I can easily log on the shell. Okay, I can do some magic here. I can invoke a shell. And I'm here. I'm on his desktop, and I can do some stuff. Okay? But really, you know, I'm a lazy hacker. Okay? I don't want to use the shell, typing commands. I mean, let's do the easy stuff, right? So the easy stuff is forwarding port. Let's say, first of all, I want to enable RDP, because usually RDP is not enabled on Windows XP system. So run get GUI -E enable RDP, please, for me. Okay? And you know, this script is pretty gentle because it allows RDP for me. It says RDP is already enabled, and it says, well, I'm opening the ports on the firewall as well, just in case someone is blocking you. Okay? So now the RDP ports are opened. Now, what I want to do is basically to use the connection I have from the user to me to pipe a connection. I will go into the tunnel, okay? Go straight into the tunnel, which is already open, and connect on the host using RDP. Okay, sounds like magic, but I can connect my port 3389 and tell to the system, connect this port, this port 3389 on port 3389 running on the host on the other side. Okay? -R. Okay? So this means that basically now I'm using the connection to pipe RDP. If I did everything in the right way, I should be able to connect in a remote desktop to my own system, okay? And this will basically be tunneled into the connection I have, go on the other side, and jump on the system. And here we go. Now we need username and password, but this is not a big deal, right? We have them. So we know that the user is Showerton. I have to type it in the right way or will not work, Showerton. And the password is Tiger2 exclamation mark. I mean, it's a kind of game over now, right? It's done. I have the password of local admin. If I add a domain controller, I can jump on the domain controller. There are many interesting vulnerabilities to exploit. But what I want to show you is this. This user has thank you, browser. This user has an interesting file server here. File server, that contains useful information, right? So let's take this information out. How can we do that? I mean, the easy way is to say here, forward my port 445 to remote port 445 on the host, and we need the file server, which is 10.1.1938, 10.1.1938. So what I'm doing now is piping another connection, so the Windows share connection, okay? What I'm telling to the system is use the pipe I have to jump into the host, and once you are there, forward this port to the file server. If everything worked in the right way, this means I can do some really cool stuff. I can, for example, connect to server, and I'm using my local port, right? I'm piping, so I'm sending through the pipe to jump on the other side. I can go on the Windows share, and the share is called file server or file share. Let me check. Is file server, no, file share, actually. File share. And my username is Showerton, and my password is Tiger2 exclamation mark. Connect. Let's wait a few seconds, and welcome. I have complete access to the file server now, okay? Let's give some time to load the content, but all the files are here, easily. So what I can do is really, really simple, right? I can simply take finance and accounting that probably contains something, or the environmental results stuff, okay, and copy, dragging, and dropping on my desktop. Simple like that. So, as you can see, once the attacker is in your organization and he jumps on a system, for him, it's really easy to jump everywhere into your organization. So I can copy, drag, drop here. Okay, the system will take a few seconds to copy because the bandwidth is not optimal. But once I have the desk, once I have all the information, I can click on the folder that has been created here. There is a PDF here, and into the PDF, is still downloading it. There is potentially a, a report I should not have access to. Okay, game over, done. Now, this was the complicated part, right? Was complex, right? Typing commands, weaponizing and cross-site scripting and stuff like that. Do you want to see how easy it is in real life? So let me show you the real life. In real life, attackers are using, sometimes Metasploit and stuff like that. But one tool that was used some time ago was this. I know you can easily understand why this tool was used, right? There is no need to explain you what it does. There is drag, guns, money. Let's log in. And this is like a tool that basically does what Metasploit was doing before, is waiting for a connection and pushing down a vulnerability, okay? And I have to configure it It's easy to configure. I have to choose the kind of malware I want to load on the system. Here there is Ghost. Ghost is a tool that is constantly upgraded and used in real life. It was used for many kind of attack, okay? Like Hidden Links was using it, and many other guys were using it. Now, everything is done. There are a few exploits it can use, okay? There are 11 supported. So that's all the configuration I have to do, okay? And do you remember when I was loading the file with a link, okay? This portal is generating a link for you as well. iframe, and here we go. We have the link, the clear text format, and the obfuscated version. Okay? Now, here we have our victim. And let's say that we sent a link to the user, and the user was clicking on the link, and this was the link that was into the email, a blog, okay? Think about how effective this attack can be, okay? Because, like, the speaker before me was talking about Dragonfly, okay? In Dragonfly, the attacker was hitting a supplier portal. So one of your small suppliers can be hacked in a way like that. The link can be hidden into his portal, and every day you can simply go there and visit their portal, but their portal has been compromised, and you have no idea it has been compromised, and it's game over. Now, nothing happened, right? No crash, nothing. There is just a funny message on the screen. Welcome to vulnerable blog. But I forgot to start the command and control, but the connection should come, should take just a while. Now, if we go on the dashboard, okay, that I was using before, the dashboard is actually telling us some interesting stuff. It's telling us that there was a system connecting, okay, and that the system was also connecting, and as something was loaded, okay, on the system on the other side. So as you can see, there is here hits 1 and loads 1. We know that the user was using a Firefox browser, okay, and we know that it was running Windows XP in this case. And the system was selecting like the best exploit, and in this case was a PDF. So what the system was doing is simply opening a PDF. The system on the other side was using like Acrobat Reader in a very vulnerable version. Okay, it was like 9 point something, a very, very old one, and it was exploiting it and was loading something. Now, what actually happened is that a connection came in. Okay, what can we do now? I mean, it's a matter of imagination, right? We can simply browse the system of the user on the other side, see document and settings, alias, desktop, pictures, alias1, copy. Okay, we are transferring system from one side, files from one side to the other side in a very, very easy way. So no need to type any commands, and I can actually open my computer, local disk, picture 1, here we go. Easy like that. But we can do even something more. We can screen capture. Can you see the numbers moving here? This is like a live video. So if we go on the other side and we open something and we type UID, administrator, and PWD is secret password 123, okay? There is no need you ask user to give you your password because you can read it on the screen. Something else? We can have a remote shell, okay? But I don't want to bore you to death typing commands, okay? You can do that. And can ask your help. Come here.
I'm not giving you my password.
Well, I already know it. But you can do much more, right? You can decide to open a webcam. The webcam is starting.
Oh, this is why you need me. Right.
Okay. So we can easily see the user in front of his laptop, of her laptop in this case. And it's a HD camera, so it's, you know, quite detailed at this moment. We can listen to the user in real time. Okay, we activate the mic and listen to what is happening in the room. We can inject few sounds. Okay, on the other side, we can do whatever we want. Okay, as I told you before, it's a matter of imagination. Okay, audio capture. Okay, I can easily record all the audio and listen to what is happening on the other side, or I can send local audio on the other side. Okay, and just to finish, guys, once I'm done, I can simply decide to keep, uninstall the malware, yes, and the malware is gone.
Amazing.
It was that easy. Why did I show you that? Because in order to be a great defender, you have to be a great offender. Learn how to hack. Start thinking as the bad guy think, okay? Start thinking as an offensive attackers, because this is the only way you have to defend in an active way yourself. Make sense? Thank you, guys.
Amazing. Can I get a huge hand of applause, please, for Antonio? I'm not sure after this whether I'm actually more scared to go back onto my computer, or I'll be talking to you later about how to certainly protect it.
You know, just take a piece of paper and that's...
Definitely. All right, done. Now, any questions for Antonio before we finish off?
Should I give it away?
Any questions? No. But we do, in fact, have a small gift from Symantec,
There is a small gift for the best question I received. So, guys.
Best question that you've received. All right. I thought you were going to ask the audience a question to test their knowledge.
Probably.
We should do that. So who wants to do that?
For the iPad, you mean?
Who wants to play a game? An iPad mini is up for grabs. Antonio's going to ask you a question, maybe a basic question about security. Yes? And see if you can answer it correctly, then you get the iPad. Yeah? Is that a question, or you want to play?
Yeah, question.
Question.
Yeah. No, I don't have a question.
Oh, you want to be involved? Okay, this is good. So come on, Antonio, ask him a question, see if he's able to answer it. An iPad, a mini iPad's up for grabs.
So I mean, I don't want to ask very complicated questions.
No, something easy.
Something easy, like,
simple.
You know, tell me
maybe
what's the binary
form. That you demonstrated here in your presentation to see if they were paying attention.
I mean, what is in your opinion, according to what we have seen so far? What is in your opinion?
Opinion about
the weakest link in the whole demo. I mean, there is something that allowed me
clicking on the
getting on into the organization.
He just clicked on the link or the victim. Yeah.
Is that a technical issue?
This is not a technical issue, but if he if he didn't click on it, I don't think he can even hack him.
Humans, right? Humans are the issue. I mean, it was funny when you had the discussion about the password, and I have a funny story. So I did a game with a couple of customers in a room. There were a couple of girls and a couple of boys, and we were discussing together, and I was doing a challenge with them. I told them, basically, I'm expecting to guess one of your password if you give me this amount of information. So I was asking, like, the name of the boyfriend, the date of birth, the plate number of the motorbike, of the cars, the date of birth of their baby, the name of their babies, and I was able to get 2 passwords out of 4. So, I mean, if we behave in a simple way, I mean, attackers can think in a very creative way. Okay, so...
Yeah, the easiest is better.
No, I mean, we are human, so we are lazy, basically. We tend to do lazy stuff, okay? And because we are lazy...
easy passwords.
I mean, your password is...
I'm not telling you. After that video I watched, I'm not telling you, regardless if there's a camera in front of me.
Yeah, okay, good.
All right, now maybe, were you happy with that?
So we have an iPad at least for the first question.
We've got one. Put up your hand if you want to play this game with us.
Oh, there's one there, one here.
Someone at the back and someone at the front. Maybe the front one, because it's easier.
Oh, no,
we've got a few that want to play the game for an iPad.
We just had an icebreaker.
Yeah. All right. Oh, you've got one over there. Fantastic. So Antonio's going to ask you a question. Come on, Antonio.
Or
You're
ask
going
me
to
a
come up.
question.
No, you're going to ask him a question.
Yes. Well, now it's again to the same subject by educating the people or the employees not to click. What is the best way to prevent clicking?
I've tried multiple approaches, honestly. The approach of educating them in a formal training is one way. You can spend this money, will not completely work 100%, but will be something. Something that works is also posting like posters at the office with the 3 basic rules.
Don't click.
Don't click on everything, right? When I was a baby, my mother and my grandma were telling me, don't talk to people you don't know, right?
Strangers.
Okay? Don't talk to strangers. And it is exactly the same behavior. Something we did was also doing a spear phishing campaign into an organization. So we were telling them, we were talking to a CIO, and the CIO was telling me, I run like awareness campaign in my organization. I want to check how effective it was. So we were sending spear phishing emails to the company, hundreds of email out, 73 clicks, 64 were giving username and password.
Wow.
Okay? So
Wow.
I told him, yes, at least it was working. It was not 100. Okay? It was 64, better than nothing. We were distributing like 20 sticks, 20 USB sticks, okay, with a candy drop attack, so just leaving the USB sticks. Out of 20, guess how many were plugged into a computer?
All of them.
20,
All of them, yes.
okay?
So
Humans, okay?
Well,
No, there are multiple ways to do that, honestly. And what I usually say is that awareness, it's something that will never be enough. You can't pretend to do an awareness training and forget about everything else, okay? You have to do awareness, but remember that it will not be effective 100%.
right.
You have to continuously work on it. And doing scary stuff might help.
Actually, what you show us is so scary.
It is.
And it's so easy as well. Right. Well, there is, since we are working in security, there is some application required to open an ActiveX.
Yep.
So how is that? It's because there is an ActiveX application. It has to be enabled. So
you can abuse any piece of software, okay? You can abuse ActiveX. You can abuse Java. Java is like the hell, It's evil. Remove Java if you don't need it. Adobe, PDF, Flash. I can abuse everything. The point is that we were discussing about patching, okay? And one of the guys participating to the roundtable was asking, well, how long are you going to take before you patch the systems? Because if you wait for 30 days, it might be too late, okay? Now, if anyone is patching just after 30 days the patch is out, I would be extremely happy, because what happens in real life is that customers do not patch the systems, okay? And if we end up discussing the ICS infrastructure and the SCADA, well, that is even funnier, because I have a couple of customers that were asking me, do you mind pen testing my SCADA system? And I was pen testing the system, as well was identifying like a couple of vulnerabilities, and I told him, fix it, and you are done. And it was like a Windows 2008 system. And I was asking him, how are you going to patch it? And he was asking me, patching what? So what's the point in spending money to have me testing it? Because in 30 days, there will be at least 9 critical vulnerabilities affecting the system.
Right. So since you recommend the training for as a hackers to learn how the hacker thinks, so ethical hacking, as a course, it's become now very old, and it's very basic. So
and you know what? There are plenty of certification into the market, okay? And I don't want to tell you the name.
There is nothing here
We can discuss face to face, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Some of them are really bad because it's theory, useless stuff.
Right.
Other stuff is real life. You have to have real life experience. You have to put your hands on the keyboard and hack, actually. That's something that you need. I was two weeks ago in California, in Mountain View, and we were doing a cyber war game internal to Symantec, where we were simulating a real, cyber war. okay, hacking into systems. And the point is that if you think about pilot, okay, like the Formula One pilots, they have simulators. Or even, you know, the pilots that fly the airplane, they have flight simulators. And this is how they train themselves. Do we have any kind of simulator? We don't. But probably we need to have some simulators because we want to practice, okay? Because only if we see how easy it is exploiting a vulnerability and only if we see how an attacker thinks during the exploitation process, then we can better, you know, protect ourselves. Because most of the time we think about, oh, I need sandboxing, I need firewall, I need endpoint, I need DLP, I have to patch, I have to do that, I have to do this and to do that. And we then choose simple password, forget to patch, and the basics. You know, 98% of the big breaches that happened, 98% was because they were missing the basics, not because of complex stuff.
Then we can extend on this a little bit more, a little bit later.
Thank you so much.
There's another question over there.
Antonio, we need to find out who the winner of the iPad. So we need to finalize this because I know I've been told that we need to wrap it up for day one. So who are you going to choose? Do you think you need one more answer?
I mean, there are many other questions.
Who wants to be involved in the competition?
Another
yes,
question
we've got
there.
a couple. Okay, we probably can take one. We have time to accept one more. Maybe one right at the front.
One question is, now you've done the experiments in front of us, but you didn't show that if you used any protection software. So let's say maybe you have just a fresh operating system, but you have not shown to us that you have a protection system and you avoid the protection system by doing what have you done.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now, the point is that I can run the same stuff in an environment with security products, but it will take more time because I can easily bypass any AV. It's a matter of spending half an hour, you know, customizing the exploit, and the AV will not see it completely. I can bypass an IDS IPS. I have to customize the payload again, you know. I can bypass any other security countermeasure. The point is that, you know, the history teaches us that it's a matter, if you have all security products in place, it's a matter of time, okay? Don't take me wrong, okay? This does not mean that we should not install AV, don't install, you know, IPS, remove the web filtering, and DLP is not necessary, compliance, who cares, is not that. So you have to implement lots of stuff because, you know, the simplest example I have, I call it the motorbike rule. Do you ride a motorbike by yourself?
No.
I have a motorbike, and I'm quite passionate of my motorbike, okay? It's a sport bike. It's a completely fun bike. My rule is, whenever I park it, okay, I put a chain on the wheel, and I put a locker on the front wheel. The reason I do that is not because I know very well that no one can cut the chain or remove the locker, okay? But because if someone sees my motorbike and sees another motorbike without any chain, potentially they're going to steal the other motorbike and not mine,
Yes.
okay? So that's why we have to do security at our best. Because if an attacker hits us and is not really interested in us, it's not very targeted, probably he will change target because there is no reason in pointing us, you know, constantly. But if you are the target, and the attacker is like a government agency or anyone else, I mean, there is no protection, you are dead, okay? They will come into the organization. They will try to steal your information. The right question is, how much time are you going to spend before you catch them into the infrastructure? Because if you take like 7 years or 9 months or 7 months, it's going to be too late. So that's why we have to, and this is what also the analysts keep saying, right? We should stop spending all the money we have on protection and start spending a bit of money that we have on detection and response. Because as have you seen the movie Forrest Gump? No. Okay, there is a scene into the movie where Forrest Gump